Good evening. Hope everyone's doing okay tonight. We'll start momentarily. Gotta wait for Lori's creepy computer, of course. Got my Valor, which I'm very glad that Lori left for me today. We'll leave that on the brainstem. Love it. The music tonight is Camille Saint-Saëns' Danse Macabre. Lori and I really don't celebrate Halloween. We celebrate Halloween candy, but not Halloween itself. But I thought this was appropriate music for it. And just for protection's sake, a little white Angelica. Can always use that. That goes up on the temples, the forehead, the hair, the beard, the nose, the ears, pretty much everywhere. All right. Now I smell good. And I feel even better. There we go. 7 o'clock. Lori's creepy computer voice comes through again. All right, we'll turn that down now. I love the classics. I love classical music. I was for a while in college, for a month anyway, I was a music major, as in theory and composition. That only lasted until I joined a fraternity and started hanging out at College Hill in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And I switched my major to broadcasting with a radio TV emphasis. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Tonight's class is how do you host a make and take event? And we're going to kind of explain a few things here and there about what it takes to host one, how easy it really is, and how fun it can be. But first, as usual, I must say this disclaimer. This information is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information represents what I, an independent distributor of Young Living essential oils, have chosen to do to take charge of my own personal health and that of my family, and because it's what my wife tells me to do. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. If you are pregnant, nursing, taking medication, or have a medical condition, please consult your physician before using these products. When we mention essential oils in this class, we are referring exclusively to Young Living essential oils and not any other brand. So I say we, that's because my wife and I are a team. We are Soaring Hawk Essential Oils. We are Young Living distributors, and we have been with the company for over 3.5 years now. We have loved the way it has changed our life. We have loved the way it has changed some of our friends' lives who have decided to join us on this oily journey. It is a wonderful, as the Grateful Dead said, what a long, strange trip it's been. It really has been, but it's been a joy every step of the way. Lori is not here at the moment. She was running a little behind at work tonight, so she is on her way and might join us by the by the middle or end of class, hopefully. We would love to get Lori to work from home with me. That's our dream. That's one of our goals. So we're really hoping for that. And with Young Living, we can make that happen. So we're very happy with what we do with Young Living and the people involved in it. Now, what is a make and take? We're going to start with this. What is a make and take? We really get down to the nitty-gritty stuff here. A make and take event is a great get-together where people come to your home or other meeting place. You can host it in someone else's home too, and then you make crafts. You make things like bath salts and bath bombs and room freshener sprays and sugar scrubs and oil-infused salves and balms and other stuff like that. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting at the Elks Club having a beer with several of my friends, and they say, "Jay, how do you make a really fizzy bath bomb?" Actually, I can't count it because it's never happened. I'm not yet, but it will. It will. People love to give gifts. around the holidays, and they love to give gifts that they make themselves because it's kind of like giving a part of yourself to somebody. And it's very beneficial to host a make and take event before the holiday season really kicks into full swing and everybody's schedule gets too full. So we've actually got one coming up on the 28th of October, and it is a pre-holiday make and take event. So if you want stuff for Thanksgiving, hey, we'll have oils for that. You want stuff for Christmas, we'll have stuff for that. So, you know, got some New Year's plans that involve oils? Have at it, have fun. So that's really a good time to host events, and host more than one. Don't just host one and say, okay, that was fun, I'm done. No, no. Host a bunch of them. Get different friends. Invite people that may be on your team if you have a team. Invite your neighbors, you know, have one for just family. You know, do something for the younger kids if you can. So this is really, make and takes are really a great way to introduce friends and family to the power and the wonder and the just total awesomeness of essential oils. And we must state again, we only recommend Young Living essential oils. Those are the oils we use. Those are the oils we trust. I will never, never buy a store-bought oil because one, it is not 100% pure. No matter what the label says, it is not 100% pure. You can't sell a bottle of lavender essential oil, pure lavender essential oil, for $4.99. You just can't. The distilling costs are way higher than that. So the stuff that they're using is floral water, and things you can buy in the store only have to have 5% pure essential oil in it to be considered 100% pure by the US government. That's something I wish would change, but I'm not really in control of that. So I just want to warn people, if you get a bottle of essential oil, essential oil, from the store, from your grocery store, from your gas station, from your lumber yard, wherever you happen to find it, and if it says do not ingest, do not apply directly on skin, it's not a 100% pure essential oil. It's got something in it that's not right, and that's not real, and that's not natural. So just stay away from that stuff. Stay away from that stuff. Now, there is only one kind to use, and that is Young Living essential oils. We'll never use anything else at our make and takes. No fillers, no synthetics, no toxins, no other gunk in those bottles, only the real stuff. Now, how do you invite people to a make and take? Well, you could sit around at the Elks and say, hey, I'm making bath bombs this weekend. Would you like to join me? No. Yeah, you can. If you're comfortable enough in your manhood, yes, you can. It's easy to find people via social media, and you can invite them in large numbers that way, in a mass invite. But okay, think that one over. Think that one over a little bit, because really, do you respond to all the invites you receive on Facebook? I know I don't. I feel bad about it, but I don't. I'll look at it and say, oh, you know, I really should respond to that. But then something else comes up and I forget about it. So if you do that on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, be prepared for that. People aren't going to remember that invite. And they really don't respond to mass invites very well like that. Try sending out individual emails or texts to your friends, or even, heaven forbid, a written invitation sent in the mail. Yeah, they still make stamps. Yeah, you can send these things out in the mail. Gives the postman something to do. So you can do that. And you can even brand your event. Like we're doing a pre-holiday make and take event. You can do a toxin-free make and take. That would be a big one, because people are really looking to kick those toxins to the curbs, and Young Living essential oils is a great way to do that. So, does it cost anything? Well, yeah. Your time, your energy, little bit of cash, because you have to provide the ingredients for the items that you plan on having your guests make. Some of the basics are like baking soda and, well, like Epsom salt. Epsom salt is a big one. You've got, now when I said baking soda, I don't mess around when it comes to baking soda. I go to Amazon.com and I get one that's going to last me a while because I like doing make and takes. I think I just pulled my shoulder out doing that. So Epsom salt, baking soda, citric acid. Okay, I get this in bulk too. Citric acid is awfully good. You've got things like cornstarch, cheap at the store. It's really not bad at all. Sea salt, you can get yourself some sea salt. You can get witch hazel. That's a good astringent, and it's good for room sprays and stuff. Vegetable glycerin, sweet almond oil, things like that. Shea butter, Castile soap, goat's milk soap, beeswax. There are lots of ingredients that you can get. You don't have to buy them all. No, you don't. What you can do is you can figure out how many people are coming, what items you're making, and you kind of figure out the recipe from there. Again, like I said, I like to buy in bulk because we do more than one make and take. So you also have to get your essential oils, and not to mention the containers that these items are going to go in that your friends are going to make. You can get bottles, jars, spray nozzles, stuff. Like if you're doing sugar scrubs or salves, you can get a little jar like this. You can get those in bulk. It's got a nice little screw lid to it. It's really nice. I like putting sugar scrubs. Well, my wife likes putting sugar scrubs in that. I don't use sugar scrubs because it takes away my manly silver. You can get little things for like balms, muscle rubs. Easy, just pop this in your pop that in your gym bag. You're all set, ready to go. I love these jars. These little jars that have the snap lid kind of thing. Yeah, use that. I like using those for bath salts. You can also get all kinds of containers that have cork stoppers in them, and those are great for bath salts as well. You can get little bottles with the spray nozzle like that you just, for room sprays, misting sprays, things like that. You can even get the kind of bottle that has the trigger spray. I like using this for cleaning. So yeah, lots of different kind of containers. But you need to have those on hand before you host your event. Again, if you plan on having more than one make and take and plan on doing a few of these, buy in bulk. It turns out it's cheaper that way. You can save a few dollars in the long run. Now, to offset these expenses, you can charge a little bit. People don't always expect a make and take to be free, but you need to be upfront with people when you invite them. So, you charge a couple bucks for something. Hello, Karen. Nice to see you. Charge a couple bucks for bath salts. Charge like, $3 for a sugar scrub, something like that. Just offset your cost. All right. Just try to break even, if that. Don't go for the profit. Don't make a jar of sugar scrub that costs maybe $2.50, $3 to make and charge $6 for it, because you're not going to get any repeat people coming back. They're going to tell your friends that you are terribly overpriced and they did all the work. Just saying. Now, don't charge a lot for each item. Just try to figure it out as best you can, and only cover your expenses. Now, you can create a sheet for your guests that have the items listed down, like bath bombs, $3, bath salts, $2, fragrant room sprays, $2.50. Something, whatever you work out. Let your people know how much your items are going to be. And then your guests can indicate what they like, what they'd like to do, and how many they would like, because not everyone wants to go home with just one container of bath salt. like this one. Lori made this. It is tangerine bergamot bath salt. And even as a guy, hey, comfortable in my manhood, I like it. I think it's nice. So how do you set these up? How do you set up a make and take? Pretty easy, actually. I mean, you need to determine how many people are going to be attending your event. And keep in mind that there are going to be no-shows. Yep, that happens. There are going to be no-shows, but there are also going to be people who tag along with another friend. So you could end up, with either less or more than you originally planned. Go with it. Go with the flow. Don't complain about it. Just go with it. Sometimes they'll bring a kid along. We'll get into that one in a little bit. As that deserves a separate section on its own. So it does happen. Just deal with it and move on. If you only have a couple of attendees, if you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, you may be able to use just one table for everything. If you have 5 or more, you might want to consider adding another table, or 2 or 3, depending on how many people you have and where you're having it. It depends on attendance. And it's really good to have a couple workstations if you have more than 4 people, because that way it's not as crowded and everyone's not using the same stuff at the same time. And make sure you keep track of what's being made and by who. We're not saying that your friends are going to try to sneak an extra bottle of bath salts without paying, but sometimes people do lose track. I mean, they honestly lose track of what they've made, or they forget that they've made this, or they didn't make something that they wanted to. So always double check with your people to find out if they've got everything they want. And it's nice, if possible, to have an extra set of eyes and hands around to assist with your guests. That's why Lori and I almost turned to where she usually sits. That's why Lori and I like doing these together, is we can both talk to our guests and we can both help out, and no one feels ignored or no one is left to their own devices. Find yourself a team member, a trusted neighbor, or a family member who can help out. It'll be easier for you to be a good host, and this is really handy if you have more than one workstation. One method of setting up that I've seen is people have individual trays, like little cafeteria trays, or you can do it in little gift bags with your guest's name on them. Hand them their tray or their bag, however you want to do this, when it's time to start the make and take, or you can have them set out at the stations. Now, in a case like that, you don't have your name on it or you don't have their name on it because you can let them sit where they want. And then invite them to a workstation. You can have certain items made at one table while other items are made at a different table. And then your guests can rotate between the workstations as needed. For example, if you've got an island in the kitchen and it goes directly to a dining room area, make your bath salts on the island and then have room sprays being made at a table, and then have sugar scrubs being made somewhere else where there's room. So you can do that. It's relatively easy. Just a card table would do it. Just a regular card table could suffice. Now, you can have certain items made at one table or items made at a different station. You can do it however is comfortable for you. Now, for smaller groups, you can do everything at one table, and it's relatively easy. Have measuring spoons and cups, like these sets. Dollar Tree, folks. Yeah, Dollar Tree. We've got about 8 of these laying around our house already, so everyone kind of has their own cups, their own measuring cups, so you don't have to sit there and wait for someone to use the 1/4 teaspoon, and maybe that's been in the citric acid, but you want to use the 1/4 teaspoon for the sea salt, and make sure you have enough utensils on hand. Item containers, blank labels. These things are awesome. Avery. I'm not promoting any certain brand here, but this is what we use. These little Avery labels you can get, they're removable, multi-use labels. So you can put them on jars, you can put them on bottles. In fact, you can even, if you want to get fancy, you can print stuff on this. So you can print bath salt, and you can print, bathroom spray, things like that. Or you can just let the person do it in their own handwriting with colored markers or something. That's always fun. You can have some decorations like ribbons or small gift bags that your guests can use for the items that they make. And now, if you're wondering how many oils you have to host a make and take, you don't need dozens of oils to choose from. You do not need to have a collection of 150 oils. You can use the oils from the premium starter kit. There's 13 in there, and they're a pretty good choice. There's a pretty good spectrum of oils. You've got some citrus oils. You've got some oils that have fall aroma to it, like thieves. Oh, I love thieves. You've got some really nice oils. You got frankincense, which is good for skin support. Lavender, which is good for skin support. Well, just take a look at the premium starter kit on the Young Living website if you're not a Young Living member, and you can get a good idea of what oils you can get. There is a wide enough variety just in the starter kit to host a make and take. And if you do happen to have a large collection of oils, you don't have to put every single one of them out there. You don't. All right, kids. So we talk about this. This is one of those that I'm a little up in the air about, because I love sharing things with kids. I think it's important that young kids be involved in things and learn how to do things. But some kids just are not exactly well behaved. And having young kids attend a make and take event can really be inviting trouble. Make an effort to have your guests know that this is an event for adults and appropriate aged children. Like whatever or above, whatever you're comfortable with. If you want it to be 8, 8. If you want it to be 12, 12. If you want it to be 32, your call. All right? It depends on the maturity of the kid, and it also depends on the limits of your own patience. Because if you're hosting a larger gathering, maybe you can hire an older neighbor kid who is an experienced babysitter, and you can set off an area in your house, like a spare bedroom or a bonus room or something, even a basement, wherever, that you can use for like a daycare center, and the kids can do their own crafts down there. They don't have to use essential oils, but they can, but someplace that's easier to clean up, and someplace where the kids can be monitored and their parents can have a good time making stuff with other grown-ups. Mom and dad would love to do that. I know they would. I know that adults like to hang out with their kids sometimes, but sometimes you just want a little bit of a break. And if you're doing something like this that involves measuring and pouring with funnels into small bottles and jars, you don't want a 3-year-old coming up to you, "Daddy!" No, because then you get bergamot all over the place. So if you're having a large gathering, try to find a babysitter, because if you don't, and if you don't mention this to your attendees, you could have a 3-year-old who isn't responsible enough, and they could just grab a bottle of frankincense essential oil, and they'd be blessing your house all over the place, the wall and the floor and the toilet bowl and the cat, and they'd probably put the cat in the toilet bowl. Yeah. Just try to maintain a sense of order. And if that means saying, "I'm sorry, but we're only doing like kids over the age of 10, I'm sure your guests would understand. Now, what to make? Best advice we can give you is to keep it simple. Don't offer 24 different items to make. Keep it at about 3 or 4, if that. And remember, some items that people love take a while before they're really ready, like bath bombs and sugar scrub bars. So plan ahead. Okay, let's run through a couple items here. Bath salts, probably the easiest thing on the list. A little bit of Epsom salt, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of oil, boom, magic. There you go. Room sprays, again, relatively easy with only a few ingredients. I thought I was being snuck up on there for a second. She was so quiet. So yeah, room sprays. There's Lori. Hey, wait, there, okay. I wasn't sure which way you were going, honey. Gonna have a seat? Get in on this, dear. She loves it when I put her on the spot. Yeah. Okay, so room sprays. A little bit of witch hazel, a little bit of distilled water, oils.
Can somebody answer this? Why do we call it room spray? Why is it not air freshener?
Well, because air freshener, I think, is...
It does freshen the air, right?
It does, but it's also very confusing with the stuff you get in the store that doesn't really freshen the air. It just masks the odors with fragrance.
It's non-toxic air freshener, right?
Yeah. If you want to do non-toxic, say non-toxic. So room sprays are fun. We've actually got one in the bathroom that I call Poo Be Gone. And it works. It smells nice. I've had guests use it. And they said, oh, this really smells nice. I couldn't smell anything else.
Okay, nice. TMI.
Okay, sugar scrubs. Sugar scrubs are messy, but fun to make still, and only require a few ingredients. Fragrance stones, well, that requires an oven and a cooling down period. Really best if made ahead of time, and you can use those as attendance gifts or door prizes, if you like, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And bath bombs. Bath bombs, they also take a long time to properly set. So with bath bombs, it might be best if used as giveaways or door prizes. We'll talk a little bit more about bath bombs. Like what we do is we use a silicone mold and we make our own little bath bombs. This one is a citrus bath bomb. And it still smells nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Got a.
I could soak with that.
Got a lavender one here that actually has some lavender buds in it, which you need to clean out the tub after that if they don't go down the drain.
Wait till they dry. It's easier to.
Yes, definitely. But bath bombs are fun. People love bath bombs. Our suggestion, I guess, would be to make them ahead of time and have them ready for people if they want them. And you can charge for them if you want, or you can give them as gifts, or both. So getting started. Let's talk about getting started. Once people are at their stations, show them how to create the items and have recipes at each station to look for guidance. Just have like a little recipe sheet like this. I mean, this has the bath salts and the bath bomb recipe on it. So have that handy for them. And this is where it's really great to have that extra set of eyes and hands so they can give guidance as well. And they can help your guests. You can't be everywhere at once. No matter how hard you try, if you're doing this on your own, you might want to keep it to a smaller group.
Did you talk about how we all have those friends that...
Not yet.
Oh. Okay.
You don't have to have a ready, set, go. This isn't a race. You know, who can make bath salts the fastest? No, because that's when spillage occurs. Casually mention, hey, is everyone ready? Remember to follow the instructions. And if you have any questions, ask. Make sure you let people know that they can ask questions, because otherwise it's like, oh, can I just add a little, how about, you know? Okay, just let them know they can ask you. Now, you're probably going to find that some of your guests already know everything there is to know about making these items, and they will tell you so.
Maybe.
Oh, I've done this lots of times. Yeah, they may not follow the directions that you have out there, and they may kind of go rogue on you and start telling the other people there, oh, well, this is how I make it. Next thing you know, it's not your event anymore. It turns into that person's experience, and you kind of lost control of the day. And then there are those who tend to add more oils than necessary because they think, hey, if 3 drops of essential oil is recommended, then 12 drops must be way better. Both kinds of guests need to be checked on frequently because that's going to save you a lot of hassle if you can kind of keep those kind of guests in check. Now, as far as the essential oils go, you can have them spaced out between stations. Now, this I think is kind of fun because it can encourage guests to interact with each other if they're looking to use a certain oil that may not be at their workstation, but may be at a different one. You could have someone say, hey, is ylang-ylang around? Yeah, it's over here. I just made some sensual bath salts with it. And obviously this would be a gathering of ladies because men don't use the term sensual, at least not in public. And then you can say, oh, can I smell it? Now, if you plan on having more expensive oils around, like rose, Melissa, something like that, you should consider keeping those oils either in your pocket so you can add the oils yourself, or keep them off the table altogether. That would be my preference, but it's up to you. It's really up to you. And you don't have to sell the oils at an event like this. Sure, you can have a sign-up sheet in case anyone is interested in learning more, or might be interested in an Essential Oils 101 class, but don't make that the focal point of the day. Put the emphasis on fun and sharing, and talk about, hey, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Here's what we're doing for Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or whatever you happen to celebrate. Here's what other people are doing. I'm going to gift this to my great aunt. She loves eucalyptus. Just talk to people, have conversations there. Start conversations with your guests because that makes it more fun. Now, you can, however, during this event, talk about the benefits of some of these oils. Like, hey, eucalyptus in the bath salts, great idea. Did you know that eucalyptus supports the respiratory system and is wonderful at this time of year? Or, hey, a peppermint sugar scrub. How festive. Good thinking. Peppermint is invigorating, and it helps keep you alert on cold, gray winter days. So, yeah, have fun with it. And you can make the learning fun. Now, concerning bath bombs, I've seen these, and I've seen people use them before. You can get those clear plastic ornament globes at craft stores. And they kind of split down the middle into like 2 halves. Well, if the guests want to make their own bath bombs, you can use those ornaments, and they can take them home with them and open them up later after the bath bomb has cured and is solid. That's roughly 24 hours, give or take. And I don't think you want to be hosting a make and take for 24 hours. No, I think 3 is plenty. Now, the bath bomb recipe is also delicate. And even those people who have made bath bombs many times tend to mess up the recipe sometimes. You may add the liquid too fast to the citric acid and cornstarch and baking powder or baking soda, and you get the chemical reaction that is supposed to be the fizzy part of the bath bomb. Well, that's going to mess things up for people who are making bath bombs. So if you want to do that, and you think you're really good at making those, the bath bomb mix, fine, make a batch ahead of time and let people add their own oils to it and put it in the little ornament thing, and they can take that home with them. If you want to do that, fine. That's an added bonus, really. And I wouldn't recommend it for first-time make and take hosts. You can also have door prizes, and you can hand out all kinds of things during the event if you like. You can put all the names in a basket. You can draw for some small gifts, like a set of bath bombs that are pre-made, a special item that you made ahead of time with your more expensive oils, like, hey, I've got this rose sugar scrub.
You do?
We don't have rose oil yet.
Waiting for diamonds.
We're waiting. But you can have, if you happen to have rose, you can make a rose sugar scrub and say, hey, this is a special one made with rose essential oil, and it could be yours. And you draw names for that. And you can even give away bottles of essential oil if you want. You know, whatever floats your boat. You know, make your guests happy. Let them enjoy the experience. Now, for wrapping up the event, when your guests are done making their items, have them show you what they made. This is kind of like when your kid comes home from kindergarten and is drawing a picture and it's like, Mommy, look what I did. You know, it could be a picture that doesn't make sense at all. But, oh, Timmy, that's absolutely great. We love that. That is beautiful. Do the same thing with your guests. Because if they create something that is like a part of themselves that they're gifting, or even if they're keeping it for themselves, maybe they can't wait to show someone. So your guest might feel the same way. Oh, here, smell this, smell this. You know, it's tangerine and jade lemon bathroom freshener spray. Personally, that's one I'd try. So yeah, I'd sniff it and go, wow, that's really good. Great idea. What made you think of those oils? You know, show some enthusiasm for their work. Interact with them. Then ask them if they're going to use it themselves or if they're going to gift it to a friend. All right? And that's nice because that starts a conversation. It keeps it about them. So you realize these microphones are pretty responsive, right?
Sorry.
Okay.
Multitasking.
Just checking. So hand them also when they leave, you know, a little gift bag if you want, or you can have the recipes all printed out and give them a couple of sheets of paper that have the recipes of the things that you made, like the basic recipe, and then add whatever oil you like, or have a few other recipe ideas on there, like for bath bombs or sugar scrub bars, which actually require like melting soap and coconut oil and stuff, and things that you normally don't do at a make and take event, and have recipes for that so they can do that at home. And give them a business card. If you don't have a business card, this is ours, Soaring Hawk Essential Oils, with a little soaring hawk that my oldest son created for us. He's an artist. He's also a really good barista too, but he's the barista-ing supports his art habit. So we were so happy that he agreed to do that for us. And he actually got a bottle of oil for it too. You can go to Office Depot or Office Max, whatever it happens to be, Staples. Get yourself a pack of the printable business card stock paper. Create a little logo or create a design of some kind if you want. Just words, just colors, whatever you want. Put your name, your contact information on there, a little something about oils, and give it to your guests. So that way, if they have any questions about a make and take, or any way to, you know, or any ingredient that they, you know, may be missing, and, you know, what can I use for this? What can I use for that? They know how to get a hold of you. And if they say, hey, I'm going to gift this to a friend, well, have a little gift bag ready and say, would you like to put it in a gift bag? Here's our card if they have any questions. Do it. What's it going to hurt? I mean, you could always, you know, ask your guest's permission. Hey, would you mind if I put our card in here so they can contact us? And then if they do decide they want to get a premium starter kit with Young Living, tell your friend who gave that to someone and say, hey, this person wants to do this and we want to help them through you. And that helps them in the long run too. You know, toss a fragrance stone in there, a couple sugar scrub bars, things like that. Just have a little parting gift for your friends. And it's really fun. The make and takes can be really fun because there's a lot of laughter going on. People are talking about, you know, hey, I love this scent. This is going to be fantastic as a bathroom spray. This is going to be wonderful as a sugar scrub. Absolutely love this. You know, thanks so much for doing this. You know, it's so reasonable. It's cheaper than going to Bed Bath & Beyond and buying a sugar scrub thing that has all kinds of chemicals and toxins in it. And I'm not just pointing out Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm pretty much just saying, you know, all those kind of boutique stores in general.
Lush.
Yeah, there are chemicals all over that place. Make your own with no bad stuff. And if you want to emphasize that to your friends, emphasize that. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and be watching for some new sessions coming up next month. We do 2 of these classes a month, the first and third Mondays of each month. I think maybe for November, we might do an Essential Oils 101 for the first Monday in November. And then for the third Monday, I think it's about time we did an Oils and Men class. So we'll do that one again. I've had a few requests for Oils and Men. So see if there's anything new out there that I've learned. Actually, yeah, I have learned a lot. So if you are a Young Living member, thank you so much for joining us here. If you're a part of our team, thank you for being a part of our team. If you're not, hey, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. You can share this with your teams if you like. Share it with your friends. If you know someone who's getting ready to put on a make and take and has never done it before, show them this. Who knows, they might change their mind. We really enjoy doing these sessions and really love that you're a part of it. If you're watching this on the replay, you can still comment on it. So really, we love hearing from you. Hello, Vicki. Didn't even know you were there because you didn't tell us when you logged in. Bad girl. So thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time we find Young Living essential oils to be the highest quality and only recommend using those when we do our make and takes and in our everyday lives. So until next time, on behalf of my wife, Lori, who is over here, she's coming over this way. There you are.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You're having dinner. So on behalf of Lori, who's right here.
And the great make and take guru.
Believe me, I have messed up the bath bomb recipe more times than I've succeeded with it, which is why I don't recommend doing it for make and takes. Have a fantastic evening. If you do a make and take, let us know how it goes because we really would like to know that. We care.
Yeah, what works for you?
Yep. Yeah. Leave a comment. Let us know. Do your own videos. It's easy. So until next time, take care. God bless.